and start this live like 4 times. It was not happening. I just could not get it to go. Hi, everybody. My name is Christine. I am going to be your host, your reader. I am from Meliora Tarot, where I do tarot for the pursuit of better. And tonight we are doing a Decan Walk, a Decan study. Let me make sure my mic is turned all the way up. You may or may not hear my grandmother in the background watching her late night TV shows, and my bird is liable to squawk at any given time. So just bear with me. What you're looking at is a mess. This is a few of my decks that I have out, and I'm going through. I wish I could see what the link is to this so I could share it to myself. I don't know how to do that. Does it let me do that? I'm not good at this YouTube stuff. I'm new here. So yeah, welcome me to Tarot Tube. Say hello to me. Um I've been lurking in the shadows for some time now and finally decided that I would take part and participate and make content because I absolutely love everybody on this platform so far and what they're doing. So thank you to all of the creators. I wish I could go off the top of my head and like shout out all of you. um some of the ones that come to my head, I think it's like Magpie Tarot, Shanna D, Krista Chronicles. I think it's Tarot Geek TV, Tarot Map. I'll look here in just a second, but they're all really great. Marlena Teresa, Marlena. I think it's Marlena, not Marlena. Marlena. Um, Aaron Lento. I don't watch The Hermit's Cave a lot. I know a lot of people watch him. Oh, I don't. I watch a lot of you ladies. I need more male perspective in my life. So if you have any channels that you like particularly, drop them below, drop them in the comments because I'm always on the lookout. Found it. I got the link, but how do I share it? I don't know how to share it. Oh well. Well, I'm using my phone as my camera. So let's get to it. Let me pull up my notes. We're doing a Deacon walk. And I know a lot of people don't like to wait and hear me babble. So let me bring up my notes and I'm going to go through this deck. This is the Rider Waite deck. If you are learning tarot, I highly, highly recommend that you use this deck to learn tarot or a version of this deck to learn tarot. A Rider Waite Smith deck. When people say Rider Waite Smith, that is what they're referring to. So what I did was last night I got out all of my decks and I was surrounded by all of these 8 of swords, which is funny because I was like gathering and beginning to analyze and get the facts together, and that is just there's my wheel card that I'm looking for. That is just a very mercurial Gemini one thing to do because I was like trying to gather all this information so I could expand it and share upon it, and that's the Jupiter energy of this card, which we're going to talk about. So, this card is, fate versus free will comes up in this card. And really, the reason why I'm doing this Deacon walk, Deacon study thing is because it's something that I thought would enhance my practice, but also something that I knew that I could do and commit to. Yes, it's a year-long thing, but I get 10 days, so I figure I can do 10 days, right? I definitely can. There's my lover's card. Geesh, I was looking for that puppy. I'm going through all my decks while we talk and get warmed up here to look at the Wheel of Fortune and the lovers, because last night I got all the 8 of swords out, but I didn't get the lovers and the Wheel of Fortune, which is a really important part of this deacon. And what I want to do is look through these cards together. So let's get these out. So yeah, this card, themes of fate versus free will come up in this card. So for people who are new here, new to me, which everybody is, I'm new here too. Um, what is a deacon? Let me get out my thingamajiggers. I didn't really prepare or think this through. I just kind of am throwing stuff and seeing what sticks, right? That I feel like that's part of this whole YouTube tarot tube thing, figuring it out. What I'm about to show you, I got off Jamie Sawyer's website. It's one of her vinyl casting stickers. This is the smaller one. There's a bigger one that comes with more stickers, but it's in my car. I have a poster board that I want to stick it to with my birth chart, but I just haven't committed to it yet. If you're popping in, say hi. So yes, what is a deacon, right? This is the zodiac wheel. Let me bring it a little closer. Come on, baby. Come on closer, baby. And then it just shows you modalities, the deacon degrees, and the elements, which is it's really, really cool. I'm gonna stick that puppy in my handy dandy notebook, which is looks really big on camera. But I'm gonna stick that in my notebook, which is a complete mess right now. I will show you kind of what it looks like. I have my birth chart in there. Don't look at it because that is the guide to unlocking my heart. This is from Mary K. Greer. Yes, it's sideways, but I have limited space. Deal with it. Um, this is on my website. It's from Mary Kate Greer. I backlink to her. Great resource. We will probably pull that out for this video. And then I just have some astrological correspondences, and then I have to transfer my yada yada yada. What's it called? I'm gonna leave this part right here out for later. I have to transfer my notes from Taurus 3 into this notebook because I switched notebooks mid Decan Walk. Okay, so Deacon, this is a zodiac wheel, right? There's 12 signs. A circle is 360 degrees divided by 12. That leaves you 30 degrees for each sign. So the zodiac has 36 deacons, 10 degrees in each. You get 3 per sign. Each deacon has its own ruler, tarot card, distinct energy. And a deacon walk is a practice where, as you move with the sun through each deacon, you move through it intentionally. So you do this to deepen both your tarot and astrology practice. A lot of the times, like my first love was astrology. So that's my strength here. Tarot, I found later, and tarot is just an ever both of them are lifelong studies for me, but I've worked with astrology a lot longer than I have with the tarot. So there's no right one way. You want to make it your own. That's kind of the whole point. And that's why I decided that I would go live, because what I didn't want to do was watch everybody else's content and get everybody else's perspective and then try and take that and make it no, like let's just be authentic and do the thing. There's no right way or wrong way to do this. And so for me, I'm analytical. I'm a Virgo, I'm a Capricorn rising. Shout out to my Cap rising. Saturn is so hard to work with. And oh, anyways, Saturn, I'm glad that we're out of that. Taurus 3. If you're doing a deacon walk, that the Seven of Pentacles was kind of hard for me to work with, and it's Saturnian in nature. So it's just, you know, it's Saturn. So you got to do your Saturn, as Aunt Wortley says. All right, so let's get started. That is what a deacon is. It's 10 degrees of the zodiac, and each of those, right, is ruled by a tarot card. So, right here is Aries. The zodiac wheel starts with Aries. We are in Gemini. So here we are, and we're in the first decan of Gemini, which there's two rulers, right? This has Jupiter by triplicity. It's called triplicity. But there's a Chaldean system, and the Chaldean system of astrology uses Mercury as the traditional ruler for this part of the decan. Now, it doesn't really matter. Jupiter's the Chaldean one, Mercury here is the triplicity ruler, but I can see the Jupiter in the Eight of Swords, and we're going to talk about why. Okay, we also have the Hermetic and Thoth versions here. So I'm going to try and get rid of the glare. Maybe, maybe not. So Thoth, the Aleister Crowley versions, what's it called? Version of this is going to be interference. Title of the card is interference, and the Hermetic Tarot, it's Lord of Shortened Force. Lord of Shortened Force. And you can see here Jupiter, you can see Gemini. I think these are the names of angels. We'll look at the book and kind of go through each one and get a vibe, right? I'm all about the vibes. Okay, so major arcana is going to be Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers. It's the Had. Ugh. I wish I spoke Hebrew. On the Tree of Life. And for Austin Coppock, its symbol is an apple. Now, what's funny about that is with the Lovers, and I should get the lovers, Mr. Lover. I always like to refer to the traditional Rider Waite. So Austin Coppock's symbol is an apple, and in the Lovers specific. Oh, this has nudity. Whoops, I gotta learn. This has schnudity. All right, better. Da 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 da. Let's use this Lovers, but specifically in this Lovers, the reason why they're in the garden, and in the Garden of Eden, that invokes an image of choice, knowledge, temptation. Okay, so let's talk about the planetary tension of Jupiter and Mercury and Gemini. Okay, some astrological basics here, right? We're laying out the roadmap of what. Let me, can I zoom out? Does it let you zoom out? Am I able to zoom out? Boom. No, it doesn't let you zoom out. Hold on. Whoops, I muted myself. Da, 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 da. Okay. No, it doesn't let you zoom out. I can lift this. It's just kind of. Then you guys can see all my mess, though. Boom, 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 boom. I just wanted more space. God, my hands look so fat. Sorry, guys, I'm thinking out loud. Okay. So, Mercury and Gemini, right? Mercury and Gemini. He is at home. Mercury is at home in Gemini. That means he's in domicile. Um, that means he's happy, right? A planet can be in exaltation, it can be in detriment. What is it? Exaltation, domicile, detriment, and there's one more. It's gonna bug me. I think there's four. But what it means is of those four phases that there are, he can like love being there. He can like being there. It's comfy, cozy. He doesn't really care for it, or he absolutely hates it. Right? Mercury in detriment does not like it, or Jupiter in detriment, excuse me. I keep saying Mercury. Jupiter in detriment is so uncomfy, right? Uncomf, because Mercury, he wants details and he's analyzing, he's gathering. Remember, Mercury has wings on his feet. He's the messenger of the gods. He gathers, he carries the message, okay? And Jupiter, he likes big picture thinking, right? Jupiter likes big picture thinking. he has to see a meaning in everything and make a meaning of everything. And Mercury's running around like getting this, getting that, getting this, getting that, and pulling all these threads together. And Jupiter's trying to like weave them into a tapestry. And Mercury's just like stacking up more stuff to sew into the tapestry. And neither one of them, right, with the planets in my camera fall, neither one of them is wrong. Neither planet is wrong. They just pull in opposite directions. And that tension is what creates the interference, right? You can't launch an arrow when you're still cataloging all the targets. The signal drowns in the noise. And Gemini 1, it's pretty loud, as you can see, right? These are the swords are the suit of the mental and of the mind. And you can see, yes, she's blindfolded, loosely bound, one foot in the water, which is important. And we're going to talk about all of this here in the card in the moment. But she could freely walk away, but it's being in the mind, it's being stuck in the head and not seeing it. Let me take a drink. I'm parched. Mm. Okay, so that's kind of a little bit about the tension between Mercury and Gemini and Jupiter and Gemini. Mercury's happy, Jupiter is not. Okay, that friction is what causes this interference that we see here in this depiction, and how we get interference and even shortened force. So, some of these I'm going to read from the guidebook to you guys, right? Because I like to get different guidebook interpretations of the Eight of Swords and just see if there's anything. Is it like a certain card more Jupiterian? Is that a word? Jupiterian? Or is a card um more mercurial? All right, hold on one second. I'm going to get distracted because I have ADHD really badly. So bear with me. What's Christina's email? I don't know my best friend's email. It's like Amazon, Christina Amazon. I don't know. Oh well, she's beat. She'll find me if she's meant to find me. That's how I feel. Okay. All right. So I think we kind of have a good idea of Jupiter. We have an idea of Mercury. That covers the astrological part of this, right? What else should we cover? I think maybe the fate versus free will thing. Um, Probably the most important thing to unpack about this card. Let me move. I don't want to use my lovers because it's got nudity. I'm really upset about that. Can you guys see this? Doon, 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 doon. All right, this is the Light Seers Tarot. And I'm going to pull from different decks. I left my Eight of Swords from my Bone Stone and Earth Flesh on my desk at work, and it's driving me crazy. I want to drive to work and badge in and go get my card to make my deck one and the same and complete. All right, so here's the Wheel of Fortune. Here's the Lovers. Eight of Swords. Right? Lovers, Eight of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Standard Rider Waite Smith. And you can compare. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. Darn it. The two, but you can't see, so never mind. I need a bigger desk. That's just what it is. All right, I got my All Saints oil out and anointed my forehead today. Ooh, that smells good. Yeah, I went to this cool hippy dippy store the other day, and called Awakening for All here in Toledo, Ohio. and purchase some All Saints oil. Really cool stuff. Smells really good. I'm making my own charging oil. I anoint my throat chakra, my third eye, and my lips or my mouth when I read for my clients. And I ran out, and the lady who makes my charging oil no longer does it. So I need to make my own charging oil. Oh, Bakeba. So the wheel, fate, destiny, the cycle that turns, whether you consent or not, time, right? Time is depicted in this card. And then obvious the lovers with choice. And that fork in the road, I guess, where you must pick a path. And these two cards, they're in this standoff in this deck. And the Eight of Swords is what happens when the standoff occurs. It's like analysis paralysis. This is definite analysis paralysis. If I had to use a keyword, analysis paralysis is what it's giving, and you can see in this depiction that it's an illusion, right? An illusion of her. It's a figment of her imagination, or the noise is loud. This too much noise, not enough signal. Um, so with this, some people, the fate verse, is this fated or is this free will? I tend to synthesize the two, that the truth happens somewhere in the middle. I'm a huge Jungian by nature, like huge Jungian by nature. And Carl Jung believed that fate and free will weren't necessarily opposites, that they were, collaborators. And that with individuation, fate is like, they're showing me like a grid, but I don't know what the word is. What are those things that engineers use? Blueprints. There we go. Fate is like the blueprint. I was going to say the matrix. Fate is the matrix. Yes, it is. Fate is the matrix. But free will is the tools, I guess, that you use to unlock or to get to the fate, right? Like synchronicity is a big one. Fate knocks and free will answers. Um that's kind of the whole, they go together. They're not separate. They're on the same continuum. And like I wrote about this a little bit in Taurus 3 about the stoic lens of this, which is the amor fati, the love of fate. You don't resign to fate, right? The only thing in your control is your response to fate, and the wheel is what really handles the rest. So, fate is like the field, and free will is how you play. So, with the the Eight of Swords is what happens when you forget that you're in the field. I was writing my blog post for this earlier, and I kept hearing the song by Drake. You guys are gonna laugh. Could be standing in the field and he still ain't in the field. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so Eight of Swordsy. Right? You're there, but you're not really present because you're in the mental space on the hamster wheel. You're spinning, you're spiraling, right? So with the Eight of Swords, you're blindfolded slightly. You're convinced you can't move. The wheel got you here, but your mind keeps you here. And the lover's energy is what gets you out. It's that choice that you make to leave this energy behind you, right? To get out of interference, to tune in, to dial in. Um so I think it's important to point that out, that the Eight of Swords is in response to fate, in a way, but the lovers is what helps you move out of this energy. Um, and yeah, and I love that the Gemini energy is just great. I love the lovers card. Yes. So let's do a little card breakdown. Let's do cards. Let's break down cards. So with the Eight of Swords, you see a woman blindfolded, eight swords around her, muddy ground, castle in the distance. She's got one foot in the water, and water is the subconscious, or water is our emotions, right? So this is important, right? One eye is kind of like peeked out. I never really, maybe my eyes are bad. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. One eye is peeked out. I never had noticed that one eye was peeked out before in this card until I started studying the tarot. How funny is that? Like until we did this Decan walk and I was putting all this together, I was like, yeah, I read somewhere that one eye was peeked out. And then I was like, yeah, I don't think so. And then I looked and I was like, I still don't necessarily see it, but I guess you could interpret that based on the shadowing of the card. That's my 2 cents. I don't see an eyeball clearly sticking out, but it's indicated by the artwork. I guess. I suppose. Okay. So the swords, the most important thing that I think in this card is that the swords aren't touching her, right? She could just like walk out of this whole array of swords. So it's a psychological cage, it's not a physical one. And again with the water at her feet, it's water, it's emotion just under the surface. The writer Waite Smith asks, really, how does this feel? I guess even though it's a thinking thing, it asks how it feels to me. Now, let's compare that. Let's look at this Eight of Swords. This is the backs. The Tarot del Fuego. Let's see if I can find the wheel and the fortune. The wheel and the fortune. Let me see if I can find the wheel and the fortune. The fortune cookies. No, I want to find the wheel and the lovers. Every time I say lovers, all I can hear is Mr. Lover, Lover. Hi, if you're just tuning in, or welcome if you're joining. I've been yapping by myself here. I haven't been looking at the chat, but tell me where you're tuning in. Tell me if you are doing a Deacon walk or if you're here studying with me. All the things. And thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you're learning something. That's the world, not the wheel. Oh man, have I been looking for Hi Kevin, I just seen you on here. I'm trying to get this video to Christina, but I can't do it. How did you get here? It's so funny. Carl Jung was a fascist, he said. Those cookies are bullshit. I'm reading your I can finally see your chats. Let me go live. Carl Jung was amazing. There we go. All right, so let me move this. I didn't have the chat pulled up. Oh, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate your support. I love you too. I'm doing my I'm doing my I'm doing the thing I love. And I think it's so cool. I think tarot is so cool, right? And other people may or may not think it's cool, and that is a-okay with me. But I just can't understand like why anybody would want to do anything else other than study tarot all day. That's just the energy I've been in, is tarot, tarot, tarot. I go in waves with it though. Um, it's like I have a obsessive personality. My Venus is in detriment in Pluto in Scorpio, I mean. And so I get fixated on things. And Let me hear who's an addict. I get fixated on things. And tarot is a fixation that has come and has stayed with me for many, many, many years. Right. I'm a personality type that is able to start things, but sometimes I have a hard time finishing them or sticking to them. I get bored easily. And the tarot has kept my interest for years. Same with astrology. Why can't I find my lover's card, guys? Am I missing a card in the deck? Sorry if this is driving you nuts. I'm here for answers to questions pointing me in a crooked line. That's out. There it is. The lovers. Pointing me in a crooked. I'll pull cards for you later, Kevin. I got you. You gotta text me and I'll pull cards for you. All right, let's take a. Oh man, how'd I do that? I freaking picked up the wheel and put it back in the deck after we just went through those. I'm not going back for it, guys. Too late now. And it's too late, baby, now. How are you doing tonight, Kevin? What's going on? What's new with you? Anything? What am I looking for? The wheel. Yeah, I got it out and then I put it back. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. But I like how much is going on in this deck that I want to get it out for you guys. I tried to do this last night, but I got through all of the. It was on the bottom. Oh my God, the whole time. Hugs to Kevin. Just started working at a taco joint in Boca. I feel like it's a whole party. What do you. Now I want to talk to you guys and not do tarot. See how you distracted me. All right, here we go. Let's do it. How's it look on cam? So this is the Lovas. Here's the Eight of Swords and the Tarot del Fuego. And the wheel here, is that a chicken? Look, it has a tower, mountains. I love this the symbolism. I got a little gnat in here. Black magic. I don't like it. I like the symbolism that they use in this deck. Time for a Red Bull. Yes, I'm drinking Red Bull with heart problems. Don't know why I posed that as a question. Yeah, I know. And see how the blindfold is on? Both eyes completely blind. Here. And there's fire coming up, indicating that there's urgency. There's like a sense of urgency to the Eight of Swords that I also wanted to point out. And let me do this here. Let me move things up. Let me get my notes up. There we go. Bow, bow. So that is some of the imagery for Rider Waite stuff, right? Let's do Eight of Swords here. This is the Angels of the Influence of the Angels deck. Influence of the Angels Tarot by Jody Baginski. It's like a $10 deck and I think you can get it off Walmart. Someone gave this to me as a gift. I think it was my cousin Job. And it sat on my shelf for a long time. And then I got it out and I was like, dang, this deck's actually pretty legit. I like it. It's like a Rider Waite clone, but it's good. It's an easy reader. And this Eight of Swords, I like this string. I don't know if you can see this. Let me stand up so you guys can see. You can see like the thread in the headspace hanging on by a thread. And the swords are touching. You know what I mean? It does look like this is cagey. I like what this invokes. This gives me Gemini energy. And the expansion is the more the swords that are getting added is the Jupiter in it for me. Right, I want to look for both influences of the card. In the Thoth system, we have 8 blades, 2 large, and then 6 forming a grid. And this purpley background is very Jupiter. And the orange is that Gemini erupting through it. So that planetary tension is made visual with the colors. It's more structural, it's very abstract, and it shows you the mechanics, not how it feels. Like how, like the Rider Waite Smith asked us, how do we feel? But the Thoth asks, like, what is actually happening? Sirens, by the way. Can you hear them? And then here with the Eight of Swords in the Hermetic Tarot, we see Jupiter here, Gemini here, and I'm going to read the guidebook on this one because I want to know what angels that they represent. So the Eight of Swords is the Lord of shortened force. Eight of Swords points upwards, crossing the touching near the top of the card. The rose appears darker but intact, except for the 2 bent rays in the upper left and right. There are 8 rings, 1 for each sword. The force is shortened in this card as evidenced by the rings which are incomplete. So this is incomplete. And then the symbols are for Jupiter and Gemini. And then the angels are Vemibael and Yehoel. Bow, 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 right here. I wonder if they're seraphim. I'd have to look on the chart of angels, like what the rank of those angels are. But very cool. All right, so with Rider Waite, with Thoth, I think both versions are right. The Thoth is hard for me because it's not, it's pippy. It's very similar to the Crystal Key Tarot. It's pippy. There's not any personage. There's not. Yay! Oh hell! You pretty much. Yay! Oh hell! I want to see your gorgeous Poonam. Do you still look 17? Oh my God! What is that? Yes, I still look 17. I'll turn camera on in a minute. I'm 39, going on 17. Okay. So I find both interpretations, both Rider Waite and Thoth, useful, but I am learning Thoth. Like, I'm not an expert in the Tree of Life, and that is where Mary K. Greer comes in. Let me open up my Red Bull. So it rules. I don't even know which one is Yad. Know what I mean? So let's look. We're studying, guys. We're figuring it out together. Like my spinny. You know I have ADHD when I gotta get my spinny out. Who had a whole conversation about me being a witch? I'm not a witch. I study esoteric knowledge. I'm a channeler. I don't know how I would define myself. I told my therapist that one of the things this year that I wanted to get really, really, really good on was identity, because I feel like identity is always changing. It's so fluid. Mm. Would it be eights or is it lovers? Hmm. So y'all were talking a little schmack about me? Talking a little schmack? All right. All right. So let's Google some stuff. I want to cover the Agrippa thing. I do want to say this, like people with placements in Gemini 1 tend to be like archivists, observer recorder archetypes. Um I think that Margaret Atwood she wrote The Handmaid's Tale, and I wrote a blog post the other day about her poem called You Fit Into Me. And it's called A Fish Hook and Open Eye. It's from the deck These Blue Bones. If you have these blue bones, there's a card in These Blue Bones. And it's from this is the deck These Blue Bones. Of course, if I have a moment to talk about it, I'm going to show it. This is the deck These Blue Bones. And there's a card in here called um A Fish Hook, an Open Eye. And I started what's it called? A guidebook of my own on this deck. And so for the guidebook on this deck, I did research on A Fish Hook, an Open Eye on Margaret Atwood. And then I was watching a video by, I can't say her name, Kathy, CGNAK, or GNATEK, excuse me, GNATEK. I'll link her videos are linked on my website. But she goes over the astrology of Gemini 1 and all the decans. And she talked about how Margaret Atwood is a Gemini 1. And that's what gives us that glass bottom view of society, that Jupiter philosophical vision that makes her feel prophetic. You know what I mean? So that poem fits into the Eight of Swords. Go read it. It's really cool. So Kathy's an astrologer. I love her content. Small following, but she goes deep in Atwood, and why Atwood is a really good example of this deacon. You should go watch it. All right. So with the Kabbalah stuff, it's not my strength at all. I did research it. I find it fascinating. And it's the eighth space. It's the eighth space. So that is going to be this one for eights. It's Mercury's domain, splendor. And where this energy, do I have my other tree or is it in my file folder? I'm not going to get it out. Here's my notes on it. So have the eighth sphere, okay, bum, 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 splendor. This is where big abstract energy gets broken down into things that we can hold like this, right? Into a form that we can cultivate. Where the things that you can't say get translated into language. Okay? The tension, the same tools of language and analysis can become the cage. Endless counter arguments are a caveat for every claim. The interference is in your own reasoning. So the resolution is also comes from this Sephiroth, right? This Sephiroth is about submission, letting language become service and not performance. And remember, Mercury's job is to carry the message. He's not to become the message. So when the ego steps back and accepts the role as the vessel, let me say that again. When the ego steps back and accepts its role as vessel, then the static clears. That is a brief digestion on Yad. All right, sitting with the deacon. Let's close it out. Let's bring it home. There's still a lot more. I didn't even cover Agrippa, right? I'm gonna leave that to the people who are smarter than me. And for something a little bit later, like I want to spend time working with the deacon while in the deacon. So the Kabbalistic point of view and the Agrippa stuff, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna turn the camera around and play with friends and tarot cards. Hold on. I think I broke my camera. All right, hold on. I gotta turn the camera around. If you're here still, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, give it a holler. I don't know how to do this though. I have like a really big I bought a there we go. It doesn't go back any further. Son of a building block. So I have to move it back. Is it gonna make me Hi. Tell me if you can see me. Hi. Hello, hello. I I mean wipe my face off and everything. I'm in my Hi. Can you see me? Can you see what I see? Here's all my plants. Do you like my plants? Let me close my These are all my I will show you. Want to see my prayer plant? I'll show you my prayer plant. Hold on. I got this at Plant Bingo the other day. Look how pretty. Isn't she pretty? The leaves rise and fall throughout the day. Like when the light, like it closes up and then it opens up when the light comes out. It's really cool. I love it so much. All right, so that is walking the deacons with Christine. A little bit of what it's like to work with the energy. A little bit, the most important things for me with this deacon is to work with the planets, right? For me, working with Mercury, working with Gemini, making sure that I'm not expanding. Like for me, getting ready to start this video and come on here was so hard. I was in my head. I was Eight of Swords energy. I was like, what if people judge me? What are people gonna think? And now here I am with no bra on YouTube. Face on, no makeup, right? I took a nap and then I just woke up from a nap at midnight and got on YouTube. But I really believe in authenticity. So here I am showing up. All right, guys. Shout out to all the tarot tubers and everything. Pick up your own thing from Jamie Sawyer. There's links in the description. I have a free resource guide that I put together of PDFs and stuff that I found, and then links to other tarot tubers who have helped me. And then I've also been writing blog posts for the deacons as I go along about what it is that I learn and that kind of stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being with me. Thanks Kevin and Christina for the support. I'm going to text you guys when we need like a group chat or something. I know. I appreciate you. You're the best. All right, I'm going to end the live and then bye guys.